Hey everyone, Anjali here, and today I'm about to tell you a story that still sends shivers down my spine. A story about a summer internship in Mumbai that turned into a waking nightmare. If you love a good scare and tales of the unexplained, you're in the right place. So, dim the lights, get cozy, and let's dive into the most terrifying 2 months of my life. Mumbai in June as well. It's an experience. Imagine a giant, suffocating, wet woolen blanket draped over the city. That's what it felt like. Sweat trickling down my back, the constant blare of horns, the air thick with exhaust, dust, and pungent spices. I was interning with a professor at the university, and my dorm didn't have a C. You can probably guess how miserable that was in the sweltering heat. I desperately needed temporary, cheap lodging near campus, but finding that in Mumbai, it felt like searching for a needle in a haystack, especially a magical needle that also had a C. After days of fruitless online searching and battling through noisy brokerage centers, I was at my wit's end. I was exhausted, dehydrated, and honestly, ready to just sleep on the street. But then, as fate would have it, or perhaps something more sinister, I stumbled upon it. Tucked away in a narrow alley, behind rows of bustling shops, an old wooden sign. Its writing faded but still legible: room for rent Sharma Properties. The office was just a small, dusty room, dimly lit by a single, buzzing ceiling bulb. Inside, an elderly man with salt and pepper hair and thick-rimmed glasses sat behind an old wooden desk. Mr. Sharma. Unlike the boisterous brokers I'd met, he spoke slowly, his voice almost a monotone, his eyes watching me calmly through his thick lenses. I laid out my requirements. Near the university, short-term for 2 months, and, most importantly, cheap. He listened, nodding occasionally. Then he said, his voice devoid of emotion, that he had an apartment meeting all my conditions. Near the university, available for a short-term 2-month lease, and unbelievably cheap. Just a deposit for electricity and water, fully refundable if I stayed the entire 2 months. It sounded too good to be true. I asked why. Mr. Sharma took a slow sip of tea from an old ceramic cup, his gaze distant. He explained the apartment was a bit ill-fated. The previous tenant, an old woman living alone, had passed away in the bathroom after slipping. Since then, it had been difficult to rent. People, he said, were superstitious. He'd bought it cheap and now just wanted someone living there to add some warmth, to dispel its bad reputation. Then came the catch. The deposit wouldn't be refunded if I left early, or if I wasn't home regularly. He added, almost as an afterthought, that he would occasionally stop by to check. His voice was steady, but something in his eyes made me slightly uneasy. However, exhaustion and the oppressive heat had taken their toll. All I cared about was an AC and a place to rest for the summer. I pushed aside my doubts. I agreed. The apartment was on the 3rd floor of a dilapidated building, plaster peeling from the walls in large patches. It was small, just a living room connected to a kitchen and 1 bedroom, but it looked reasonably clean and was sparsely furnished. The air inside felt heavy, carrying a musty scent mingled with the faint, lingering smell of old spices. The bathroom was tiny, the tiles stained yellow, with a noticeable crack on the wall near the showerhead. That must be where the old woman hid her head, I thought morbidly, trying not to let my mind wander too far. The first night passed relatively peacefully, aside from the usual street noise echoing up and the sound of water dripping somewhere in the pipes. I gratefully turned on the air conditioner, its dry chill cutting through the oppressive While unpacking, I found an old wooden box shoved deep into a drawer of the creaky wardrobe. Inside was a worn, leather-bound notebook, and several old, black and white photographs. The first photo was a portrait of an elderly woman with a kind face, likely the previous tenant, but the other photos struck me as odd. A young, happy-looking couple, then other faces, men, women, old people, children, complete strangers, seemingly unrelated, like a collection of disconnected lives. The notebook was just as strange. The handwriting was erratic, filled with disjointed thoughts, vague fears about being watched, about strange noises in the night, about the feeling of someone else being in the empty room. The dates spanned several years, but there was no name. A deep sense of unease crept over me. Why were these things here? Who wrote the notebook? Who were the people in the photographs? I closed the box, put it back in its place, telling myself it was just old belongings left behind. That night, while showering, the water flow from the shower head suddenly dwindled, then stopped completely, though I hadn't turned it off. Startled, I looked up at the cracked wall. For a moment, under the dim yellow light, I felt as if the crack was watching me, like a narrowing, malevolent eye. I quickly turned off the light, dried myself in a hurry, and rushed out of the bathroom, my heart pounding in my chest. Over the next few days, the feeling of unease only grew. I constantly felt like I wasn't alone in the apartment. Occasionally, I'd hear faint whispers from the next room when I knew no one was there. Sometimes, I'd catch a fleeting shadow move in the corner of my eye, just at the edge of my vision. The musty smell in the apartment seemed to intensify, mixed with an indescribable, cloying odor, like damp earth after a long rain, but somehow wrong. One afternoon, heading down the stairs, I met a middle-aged woman from the opposite apartment, Mrs. Pri. She looked at me with a mixture of curiosity and pity. "You're the new tenant upstairs, child?" she asked, lowering her voice conspiratorially. I nodded. Mrs. Priya pulled me closer, whispering, "That apartment is no good, child. It's haunted." It wasn't just the old woman who died recently. Before her, there was a young couple. She hesitated, glancing around nervously before continuing. They argued terribly, then died together in there. People say the house consumes people. Many who lived there met bad ends. You should be careful. Mrs. Priya's warning sent a chill down my spine, far colder than any AC. I remembered the photographs and the notebook, the strange faces, the fearful, disjointed writing. Could they have been previous victims? That night, I had a nightmare so vivid it felt real. I saw myself standing in the living room, pitch black. The young couple from the photograph appeared before me, their faces deathly pale, their eyes empty, hollow they whispered, their voices like wind whistling through a crack. "Go. Leave this place now." I woke up with a start, drenched in sweat, my heart threatening to beat out of my chest. I couldn't stay here alone anymore. In a panic, I called Mira, my close friend from the internship, telling her everything. Mira was skeptical at first, thinking I was just stressed and imagining things. But seeing my genuine terror, the way my voice trembled, she agreed to stay with me for a few nights to ease my fears. Mira's presence brought immediate, blessed relief. We cooked together, watched movies, chatted late into the night. The apartment seemed less oppressive, the shadows less menacing. Even Mira, though, admitted the atmosphere felt a bit heavy. That night, as we were sleeping, Mira suddenly bolted upright, gasping for air. She said she dreamt someone was standing in the dark corner of the room, staring intently at her. The next morning, Mira left abruptly, making an excuse about an urgent matter at home. I knew she had been frightened too. I was alone again. The fear returned, stronger than before. I could clearly sense a presence in the apartment. Unseen eyes followed my every move. The whispers became clearer. Sometimes I even heard faint sobbing sounds. The crack on the bathroom wall seemed larger, darker, almost breathing. A few days before my 2-month lease was up, I ran into Mr. Sharma in the courtyard. Strangely, he seemed oddly cheerful. He smiled, but the smile didn't quite reach his eyes. Almost time, isn't it, Miss Anjali? Just a few more days. Don't worry, I'll return your deposit in full. Then he added, his voice dropping, almost talking to himself. By then, this house will be much easier to handle. His words made me shiver. Easier to handle. What did he mean? Could my 2-month stay truly be enough to change the house's bad reputation? Or did it mean something else entirely? His words felt deeply strange, ominous even. But I didn't dare ask more. I hurried away, the sense of unease, a heavy weight in my chest. That night, sleep was impossible. The feeling of being watched intensified beyond measure. I felt multiple pairs of eyes on me from every shadow. I sat up, looking out the window. Under the sickly yellow glow of the streetlights, I saw a figure standing beneath the tree, looking up at my window. It was Mr. Sharma. He stood there, motionless as a statue, his face lost in the shadows. Just as I registered his presence, he turned and vanished into the night. Why was he standing there? Was he watching me? Absolute terror seized me. I wanted to flee immediately, but a strange pull kept me there. A morbid curiosity to understand what was truly happening. I felt hypnotized, rising from the bed, walking towards the living room. The room had utterly transformed. The plastered walls were gone, replaced by bizarre, viscous, membranous surfaces, as if I were standing inside the organs of some vast, unknown creature. The air was thick with a rank stench that made me gag. Out of the darkness, translucent white figures emerged, drifting towards me. I recognized them, the faces from the old photographs. The old woman, the young couple, and many others. They had no eyes, only deep, black, empty sockets. They stared at me in silence, their forms shimmering faintly. Then they slowly turned, moving towards the bedroom door, which had now become a deep, distorted black hole, swirling with inky darkness. As the white figures disappeared into the void, I felt an overpowering, irresistible force pulling me towards the hole. I lost control of my body. My legs moved on their own, stepping forward into the endless darkness. In the courtyard below, Mrs. Priya sat talking with a few other neighbors, glancing up at the darkened third-floor apartment. Another one gone, she whispered, shaking her head. Don't know how many that makes now. That house truly eats people. Mr. Sharma entered the courtyard, holding a small wooden box, walking silently towards the staircase, ignoring the murmurs. He climbed the stairs to the third-floor apartment, unlocked the door, and stepped into the empty, cold room. He walked to the old wardrobe, opened the drawer, and took out the worn notebook and the black and white photos. He flipped through the pages, stopping at a blank page. With a slow, almost reverent motion, he placed a small, newly developed photograph onto the empty space. It was a picture of me, Anjali, taken with a forced smile on the day I first came to rent the room. Mr. Sharma smiled faintly, a smile of cold satisfaction, then gently closed the notebook, placing the wooden box back in its drawer, hidden once more in the silent darkness of the room. And that, my friends, is where my story ends, or perhaps where it truly began for Mr. Sharma's collection. What do you think happened to Anjali? Have you ever had an experience that defied explanation? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this chilling tale, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next spooky installment. Until next time, stay safe, and maybe check your landlord's eyes a little more closely.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're diving into a tale that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about logic, reason, and those late-night whispers in old dormitories. Ever had a roommate who just knew things you dismissed as nonsense? Well, Miggs certainly did, and it led him down a path he could never have imagined. Get ready to turn down the lights, maybe grab a blanket, and listen closely to the chilling story of Santa Isabella. The Santa Isabella dormitory always had a scent. That's the first thing you'd notice. Not a pleasant one. It was a heavy, suffocating mix of wilted calachuchi flowers, cheap floor wax, and the old damp rising right from the concrete walls. Manila's heat pressed it all down, turning the air into something thick, something you had to actively breathe through. Eventually, I got used to it. I got used to the tired hum of the single fan, desperately trying to cut through the oppressive air, but never quite cooling it. I got used to everything, except my roommate, Paolo. Paolo wasn't just superstitious. He was a living, breathing library of the most grotesque legends you could imagine. Every single night, as soon as the lights went out, he would begin. "Miggs," he'd whisper from his bed across the room, his voice barely audible above the fan's drone. "Do you know why the fourth floor is always locked?" I'd just turn a page in my law book. The tiny beam from my desk lamp was the only thing fighting back the encroaching darkness. "Because it's structurally unsafe, Paolo." They told us that during orientation. It was the practical, logical answer. I could almost hear him shake his head, the rustle of his pillow distinct in the quiet. "No, it's because of the girl in room 413. They say she stayed there too long. She forgot she was dead. They say if you listen closely at 3 in the morning, you can hear her brushing her hair." That was it. I slammed my book shut, the sound echoing a bit too loudly in the quiet room. "Paolo, please, I have an exam on Monday." He went silent then. But Paolo's silence was never peaceful. It was always heavy, always filled with unsaid words, with Aswang and Multo, with the crying of Tayanox in the deepest parts of the forest. He believed in all of them with the same intense conviction that I reserved for logic and reason. To me, his stories were nothing but contamination. Psychological noise that only distracted me from my studies, from my duties in the student council. I was here to build a future, to construct something real, not to dig up some rotting, mythical past. Midterms arrived, and with them, a strange kind of relief. The dorm thinned out. That heavy silence I knew so well shifted, becoming hollow, almost empty. The long hallways, painted that dreadful hospital yellow, grew eerily still. Most of the students had packed up and gone back to their provinces, but I stayed. The work of the student council never stopped, and neither did my dedication to it. And unfortunately, Paolo stayed too. "Family matters," he muttered when I asked, avoiding my gaze. He looked even paler than usual. The first few days of the empty dorm were surprisingly peaceful. He kept his stories to himself. I actually started to think maybe, just maybe, he was finally growing up. Then came the third night. I was in the communal bathroom, brushing my teeth. The mint green tiles, cracked and stained, stared back at me. The sound of water running into the porcelain sink was the only thing breaking the silence. And then a scream. Short, sharp, utterly terrified. It was cut off almost as soon as it began. I dropped my toothbrush and ran out into the hallway. Paolo was there, leaning against the wall right outside the bathroom door, gasping for air. His entire body was trembling uncontrollably. She's in there. I didn't hesitate. I shoved him aside and rushed into the bathroom. "Paolo, stop," The bathroom was empty. Completely, utterly empty. Nothing but the familiar smells of mold and cheap soap. "There's no one here," I said, my voice laced with irritation. "What the hell are you doing?" "In the mirror," he sobbed, pointing a shaking finger. "I was washing my face, and when I looked up, she was right behind me. Her hair, it was long and dripping." I looked at the large, spotted mirror. All I saw was my own reflection staring back tired and, frankly, quite angry. I glanced over at his sink, nothing out of the ordinary. Except for one thing. A single, long black hair stretched across the drain. It was far, far longer than mine, or Paula's. I pulled it out with 2 fingers. It was sticky and cold to the touch. "Perfect," I said flatly, the sarcasm dripping from my voice. "An elaborate prank. Did you get this from the theater department? How far did you go for a cheap scare, Paolo?" I threw the hair at him. It drifted down and landed on his shoulder. "Grow up." His expression collapsed. Not into shame, which I had expected, but into something else entirely. A hollow desperation. "You don't understand," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "You never understand?" He turned and ran back to our room. I heard the distinct click of the door locking behind him. Good. Let him sulk. I returned to my sink, the anger in my chest boiling. My logic, my order, had been violated by this childish nonsense. The next morning, when I woke up, Paolo was gone. His bed was neatly made. His closet completely empty. A note sat on his desk. It was short and to the point. I went back to Batangas. I can't stay here. A massive wave of relief washed over me. Finally, silence, rationality. I could actually work. I spent the entire day organizing papers, the quiet of the empty building like a comforting blanket around me. The fan's hum was my only companion. The hallway was still. No whispers, no rustling, just me and my work. Everything made sense again. That night, the storm hit. It hadn't been forecasted, just a sudden, violent tropical downpour that rose unexpectedly from the sea. Wind screamed through the gaps in the window. Rain pummeled the glass like hurled stones. And then, the power went out. It wasn't a flicker. It was a sudden, decisive cut. The fan went silent. My desk lamp died. The room fell into a thick, tangible darkness. The silence that followed was heavier than anything Paolo had ever conjured, pierced only by the howling wind outside. I sat completely still. My heart gave one hard beat, then, surprisingly, steadied. Just a blackout, I told myself, trying to calm the rising unease. I reached for my phone. Battery, 40%, enough to last. I turned on the flashlight. The room looked strange under the harsh, artificial light. Shadows danced oddly, making familiar objects seem alien. Paolo's empty bed, stripped bare, looked like an open mouth in the gloom. I stood and went to the window. Rain streamed down the glass, blurring the outside world. No lights from other buildings. The entire area seemed to have been swallowed whole by darkness. That's when I heard it. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't the rain. It was a scratching sound. It came from the hallway. Slow, wet, like something heavy being dragged across the tiles. Drag, stop. Drag, stop. I froze. Cold sweat broke out on my neck. The heat in the room, already suffocating, now felt crushing. "Paolo," I called out, my voice hoarse, unsure. "Is that you?" The joke's over. The scratching stopped. I held my breath, straining my ears. Only the relentless rain outside. "He's gone to Batangas," I reminded myself, trying to sound convincing. I saw the note. He couldn't be here. It's a trick, a complex prank. He must have asked someone to do this. The scratching started again, closer this time, right outside my door. Drag. Stop. My heart pounded like a trapped bird against my ribs. I know you're there, Paulo. This isn't funny. I'm calling security. I lifted my phone, but there was no signal. Empty bars. The storm must have knocked it out. Then I heard a whisper. It came through the wood of the door. Dry, like dead leaves rustling. It said one word. Miggs? It wasn't Paulo's voice. It was cold and thin, and it sent a fresh wave of terror through me. I backed away, stumbling into my desk. My phone's light trembled violently against the door. Someone's there? I tried to shout, but it came out as a desperate, terrified rasp. The scratching turned into knocking. Not a pounding. No, it was gentle. Testing. With one finger. Tap, tap. Then my phone rang. I screamed, dropping it. The light died, plunging the room back into perfect, suffocating darkness. But the screen lit up again, almost instantly. One name glowed on it, an impossible name. Paolo. I snatched it up, my hands shaking so violently I could barely hold it. I answered. Paolo, Paolo, where are you? Someone's outside my door. Only static answered me at first, then, crying. Miggs, his voice cracked with pure terror. Miggs, I'm sorry. I'm on the bus. I just reached the stop. I'm sorry. What are you talking about? Paolo, someone's trying to get into my room. The knocking stopped. I tried, Paolo sobbed, his voice desperate. I tried to make you believe. I thought if I could make you scared, you'd believe. You have to believe to be safe. A chill colder than any sweat crawled down my spine. Believe in what, Paolo? What are you talking about? I whispered, staring at the door. The girl, room 413. She's not a story. I saw her, for real. Not just in the mirror, Miggs. She's been watching us. But she can't touch me, because I believe. I know she's there. His voice rose into a hysterical, high-pitched wail. But you don't believe. You think it's a joke. Paolo, stop, I whispered, my eyes glued to the door, which now felt like a fragile barrier. That hair, he cried, his words tumbling out. It wasn't mine. I saw it after she disappeared. I was too scared. I ran. I left you there. Oh God, Miggs. I left you there with her. You're lying, I said, but my voice was a mere tremor. Miggs, she hates those who don't believe. It makes her stronger. Don't. The call cut off. Nothing but static. Silence. The room was completely still. No knocking. No scratching. Even the storm outside seemed to hold its breath. I stood there, shaking uncontrollably in the dark. Only the faint, dying glow of my dead phone screen remained, a tiny beacon in an ocean of black. Paolo, I whispered into the void, my voice barely audible. Then from the other side of the door, right against the wood, a new voice spoke. It wasn't the dry whisper from before. This was clear, wet, and filled with a cold, simmering fury. It spoke in Tagalog. Buksan mo ang pinto. Open the door. I didn't move. I couldn't. My body was locked in a paralysis of pure terror. The doorknob began to turn, slowly, metal scraping against metal in the dead silence. It turned right, stopped, then jerked left. The latch, I hadn't locked it. After Paolo ran off, after I dismissed him as childish, I hadn't bothered to lock it. The door creaked open. A thin slit of hallway darkness appeared, growing wider with agonizing slowness. And from that slit came the scent. Not floor wax, not mold, just calachuchi. Too sweet. Too heavy. The scent of a funeral. It drifted into the room thick and cold, carrying with it the horrifying sound of wet hair dragging across tiles. The price of forgetting is not loss. The price of forgetting is repetition. I learned this at 3:44 in the morning. My Danchi apartment in Tokyo was always filled with a certain kind of noise. The distant rumble of the subway felt like a dull headache. The old refrigerator would groan and sigh. the frantic tapping of my own keyboard. But tonight was different. Everything was silent. The silence was so heavy, so thick, it felt like ink, and it forced me to lift my head from the pile of design sketches I'd been buried in. The computer screen blinked, its cursor motionless. I'd been working for 36 hours straight. The air was pungent with the smell of cold coffee and stale instant noodles. It was stifling. I needed to wash my face. The hallway was pitch dark. This apartment always carried the scent of mildew and old cigarette smoke, but as I walked towards the bathroom, a new smell seeped in. It was ozone, like the air right after a thunderstorm. And dust, so much dust. I reached for the light switch and flipped it on. The fluorescent light buzzed and flooded the tiny bathroom with its cold glow, illuminating the yellowed tile walls. I turned the faucet. The water started with a loud gush, then got softer, softer, and then it stopped. Not the water. The sound. The faucet wasn't broken. The sound itself had been erased. I could see the stream flowing into the sink, but there wasn't a single whisper of it. I put my hand under the stream. It was cold, but the sensation was bizarre, like touching a solid block of jelly. Confused, I lifted my head and looked into the mirror. My breath didn't fog the glass. I blinked. My reflection, Kato, was still there, but something was deeply wrong. My eyes, they were empty. And behind me, reflected in the mirror, the hallway was no longer dark. It was bathed in a sickly yellow light, like streetlights piercing through a thick, unnatural fog. A shiver that had nothing to do with the cold ran down my spine. I spun around. The hallway was indeed glowing. The yellow light wasn't coming from the window. It seemed to radiate from the walls themselves. The smell of ozone and dry dust hit my nose again, making me cough. My apartment had changed. The sketches on my desk were gone. The computer was off. The refrigerator was finally completely silent. Absolute, deafening silence. Panic set in. I ran to the front door, twisted the knob. It wasn't locked. I pulled it open with all my might. The door opened onto the shared hallway of the Danchi complex. That same yellow light was everywhere. Outside the hallway window, the sky wasn't the black of night, but a stagnant, dead gray. No wind, no traffic. And then I saw them. My neighbors, Mrs. Tanaka from 204, who always bowed so politely when she saw me. Mr. Sato from 301, always smoking on his balcony. They were standing there, in the hallway, but they weren't still. They were moving, but so slowly it was almost imperceptible, like watching a glacier crawl. I focused on Mrs. Tanaka. She was in the middle of a bow, her head lifting with a twitchy, stuttering motion, like a corrupted video file trying to play. Mr. Sato was raising a cigarette to his mouth, but his arm trembled, moving millimeter by millimeter, as if the very air had turned to molasses, resisting his every motion. Their eyes. God, their eyes. They were wide open, but their pupils were covered with a milky film. They saw me, but they weren't looking at me. Mrs. Tanaka? I called out, my voice cracking, a tiny, fragile sound in this dead world. Instantly, every tiny movement froze. Mrs. Tanaka, Mr. Sato, and 5 others I didn't recognize, all of them stood completely still. The silence held for 1 second, 2. Then, as one, they all turned toward me. It wasn't a smooth motion. It was a series of dry, grinding sounds, as if their necks had rusted hinges being forced to turn. They began to walk towards me, slowly. Their feet scraped across the concrete floor, producing a horrifying, scratchy sound. The sound of dust being disturbed after an eternity. I screamed and scrambled backward. I slammed the door shut, fumbled with the lock. The scraping stopped right outside. Then, a light scratching started on the door itself. Not fingernails. It sounded like a dry branch being dragged across metal. I ran, back into the apartment, I didn't know where to go. The only place to hide was the bathroom. I lunged inside, slammed the door, and locked it. I leaned against the wood, my heart pounding in my chest. I could hear the scratching. It wasn't at the front door anymore. It was right outside the bathroom. "Kato," I held my breath. The voice, it came from inside the bathroom. I turned my head slowly, dreadfully. Standing next to the sink, right where I had been moments before, was a man. He looked exactly like me, wearing my pajamas, my messy hair, but he wasn't me. His eyes were clear, but they held a cold, detached indifference. He looked at me not with fear, but with a strange pity. "They've heard you," he said, his voice even and emotionless. "You broke the silence. They don't like that. Who are you?" I stammered. "What the hell is happening?" Outside, the scratching grew faster, harder. "I am the one who stayed," he said. "And you are the one who should have left. This place, it's for those who stopped. Those who forgot how to move on. They're trapped in their final moment." He looked right at me. "Like you, Kato, you're working yourself to death. You are forgetting." "Forgetting what?" I demanded. The banging on the door intensified. Bang! The wood shook in its frame. "You don't have much time," my double said, unfazed by the noise. He just pointed at the mirror. "This place is unstable. It's a loop, a crack, and your door is closing." I looked in the mirror. My reflection, not him, but me, was fading. My skin was turning translucent. I could vaguely see the yellowed tiles of the wall right through my chest. "No," I whispered. "I don't want to stay here." "Then remember," his voice was suddenly urgent, a flash of anger breaking through his calm. "Remember why you must go on. Remember your promise. Hurry. Remember." B-A-N-G. A crack spiderwebbed across the bathroom door. Which promise? My mind raced. Work, deadlines, clients. No, not those. Then a memory flashed. Park in springtime. Laughter. Her hand in mine. The sweet scent of cherry blossoms. "Rena, you promised you would never forget me." Her voice echoed in my memory. "Even if I'm gone, you have to live. Live for both of us, Kato." Today was her memorial day. I had been working, trying to bury the pain in work. I had stopped living. I had stopped. "Rena," I said, tears finally breaking free. "Yes," my double nodded. He reached for the faucet and turned it. This time, the sound came back. A loud, roaring hiss. Water gushed out like a waterfall, overwhelming my senses. The sickly yellow light in the bathroom flickered violently. He shouted over the noise. "Hold on to it. Hold on to that memory. Close your eyes. Believe the water is real." Bang! The door shattered into splinters. I squeezed my eyes shut. I focused only on the sound of running water, felt the cool moisture on my face, smelled the familiar scent of mold. Darkness enveloped me. Just the sound of water flowing. And then, silence. But this time, it was a true, familiar silence. The refrigerator groaned. The distant subway rumbled. I opened my eyes. I was standing in front of the sink in my bathroom. The fluorescent light was still on. I was drenched in sweat. I looked in the mirror. It was just me. Tired, terrified, but solid. Fully clear. I staggered out of the bathroom. The apartment was exactly as I'd left it. The sketches littered the desk. The computer cursor was blinking patiently. I glanced at the clock. 3:48 a.m. only. Only 4 minutes had passed? It had to be a nightmare. An illusion brought on by extreme exhaustion. Yes, that's all it was. Shaking, I grabbed my phone. I had to call someone. My best friend, Kenji, just to hear a normal voice. I found his name in my contacts. But something on the screen froze my blood. The date. It wasn't April 15th. It was April 16th. I had been missing for 24 hours. Just then, my phone vibrated. Kenji was calling me. I shakily answered. Kato. Kenji's voice was frantic. Oh my God, Kato. Where have you been? We've been looking for you all day yesterday. You didn't show up to Rena's grave. I couldn't speak. Kato, are you there? Kenji yelled. We came to your apartment. The door was locked. We called the police, but they said they couldn't enter without cause. Kato, I'm here. I cut him off, my voice hoarse. I'm home. I think I just fell asleep. Fell asleep? Kenji shouted. You slept for 24 hours. Impossible. Mrs. Tanaka in 204 said she heard you scream last night. Then she said she saw you. An eerie silence hung on the line. Kenji, I asked, my voice trembling. How did she see me? His voice dropped to a whisper. She said she looked through your peephole, saw you standing in the hallway, completely motionless, under that weird yellow light. She called out to you, but you didn't answer. Kato, she said. She said her hand went right through you. I looked down at my own hands, shaking but solid. I have to go, Kenji. I hung up before he could respond. I didn't fall asleep. I had been there. I looked toward the bathroom, its door now slightly ajar. I knew I had returned, but I also knew something else. My double, the one who stayed, he saved me. But what was the price of that return? From the dark gap of the bathroom door, I heard a sound, very faint but unmistakable, a dry, grinding sound, like a rusted vertebra struggling to turn. It was still there, waiting for me to forget. Again.
My name is Alara and I just moved into a high-end apartment 3 days ago. It was supposed to be a fresh start. Instead, it became a nightmare. It all started with a knock, not on my door, but from the air vent right above my bed. 3 delicate, metallic taps, asterisk, tink, tink, tink dot asterisk. Like someone drumming their fingernails on the inside of the ductwork. I live on the 14th floor of the Aperture, a brand new tower of glass and steel in downtown Chicago. Above me, below me, all around me. I'd moved in after an awful fight with my boyfriend. Then, he said I needed space, but what he really meant was that I was getting too attached. Maybe he was right. I'd been a nervous wreck since we argued. Then, the sound came again. Asterisk tink. 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 Asterisk I pulled the blanket over my head, telling myself it was just the pipes contracting in the cold November air. But the sound was too precise. Too intentional. It wasn't random. My phone buzzed on the nightstand, jolting me out of my skin. Las 2:14 Alto M. It was a notification from Mapator Link, the building's fancy resident app. My hands were shaking as I opened it. It was a post from someone on the 16th floor. Unit kasaribuan amrato studio. Sorry if anyone heard a loud crash. I dropped a bookshelf. Everything's fine. I let out a shaky breath, relief washing over me. That must have been it. The noise must have traveled through the vents or the walls. It wasn't a knock, just a stupid accident. I set my phone down, my heart rate slowly settling back to normal. But as soon as I closed my eyes, a chill shot straight down my spine. 1607. That's 2 floors above me. How could the sound have been that clear? And it wasn't a crash. It was a knock. A distinct, quiet tapping. I sat bolt upright in bed, staring at the metal vent. The room was silent now. Oppressively silent. I didn't sleep a wink for the rest of the night. The next morning, I made myself a mug of thick, bitter coffee, hoping the caffeine could drown out the unease gnawing at me. The doorbell chimed. A soft, mechanical sound. I crept to the door and peered through the peephole. A delivery man in a gray Swiftline uniform stood in the hallway, holding a small cardboard box. He wasn't looking at my door. He was looking down at his feet. I cracked the door open, keeping the security chain latched. "Can I help you?" He looked up. He was young, with tired eyes, and a smile that didn't quite reach them. Package for Alara Vance. Apartment 1407. I didn't order anything, I said, my grip tightening on the door. His smile wavered for a second, then froze back in place. It's prepaid, ma'am. Just need a signature. Something felt deeply wrong. Who sent it? Primera. Asked. He glanced down at his tablet. No sender listed. It's from a third-party service. Would you like to receive it? I shook my head firmly. No. Take it back. I started to close the door. But ma'am, he began. I slammed it shut. The lock clicked into place like a gun cocking. I leaned my back against the door, my heart pounding, and listened. I heard a faint rustling, then footsteps fading down the hall. A few hours later, feeling a little less on edge, I decided to go out for some air. As I bent down to grab my sneakers by the door, I noticed something was off. My welcome doormat was slightly shifted, just a few inches to the left. A cold prickle crawled up my spine. I always kept a spare key underneath it. A stupid habit from my old place. My fingers trembled as I lifted the corner of the mat. The key was gone. I stumbled back inside, bolting the door and checking every lock twice. My breathing came in fast, shallow gasps. No, this can't be happening. Maybe I misplaced it. Maybe I dropped it somewhere and forgot. Maybe... My phone beeped. A text from an unknown number. The message made my blood run cold. Asterisk, you should be more careful with your keys. Elada, and luckily, I found them for you. Asterisk attached was a photo. A gloved hand, a gray glove, was holding my key. A second message popped up. Asterisk, I'll bring it back later. I know you wouldn't want to leave your door unlocked. Asterisk, my heart froze. Those were the delivery man's gloves. How did he get my number? I frantically called Ben, my voice shaking so much I could barely speak. Ilara, calm down, he said, the sound of him typing in the background. Are you sure you even left it there? Maybe you dropped it. No, Ben. He texted me. He sent a picture. He has my key. He sighed, his annoyance palpable, even through the phone. Listen, you're working yourself up over nothing. Just call the management office and have them change the lock. It's probably just a neighbor trying to be helpful. Stop scaring yourself. The line went dead. Hung up on me. Asterisk, stop scaring yourself. Asterisk, the words echoed in my head. Maybe he was right. I was alone in a new city. Maybe I was just being paranoid. I called building security. 10 minutes later, the doorbell rang again. Through the peephole, I saw a tall, clean-cut man in a navy aperture uniform. He looked professional, reassuring. I opened the door. Good afternoon, Ms. Vance. I'm Mark, with security. You reported an issue? Yes, I said, the words tumbling out. A delivery man took my spare key from under the mat. He nodded, his expression serious. That's concerning. Mind if I come in and take a look? Just to make sure everything's secure? I hesitated for a moment, then stepped aside to let him in. He walked into my living room, his eyes scanning everything. You live alone, Ms. Vance? Yes. For now, this building's very secure. I sighed, evenly walking straight toward my bedroom. He didn't check the locks on the front door. He just went to the bedroom window, stared out for about 10 seconds, then turned back to me. All the windows lock properly, but you should always close your curtains at night. 14th floor, or not, you never know. Something about the way he said it made my stomach twist into a knot. Could you check the front door lock? I asked. I need it replaced. He gave me a faint smile. Of course, I'll call our locksmith right away. But honestly, Miss Vance, you're perfectly safe. There's nothing to worry about. He saw himself out. The silence that followed was heavier than before. My phone rang an internal building number. The front desk. I answered. Hello, Ms. Vance. It was a woman's voice. Calm at first, then suddenly sharp with alarm. This is Sarah from reception. Our system just flagged your door being opened with a security card. Are you all right? My blood went cold. What? Your security guy, Mark, was just here. There was a pause, then pure urgency in her voice. Ma'am, I'm the only one on security tonight. There's no employee named Mark at the Aperture. Who did you just let into your apartment? The phone slipped from my hand and clattered to the floor. I lunged for the door, throwing the deadbolt and chain. My phone, lying on the floor, beeped. A new message on the Aperture Link app. It was from Sarah Reception. Alara, don't panic. We're reviewing the cameras. The man left your floor. He went up toward 16. The 16th floor, apartment 1607. The one who dropped the bookshelf. My fingers trembled as I typed back. Asterisk, where's the police? Asterisk, asterisk, on their way. He might still be in the building. He used a fake card. Please stay inside, look your door. He doesn't have your key. Asterisk, I stared at that last line. Asterisk, he doesn't have your key. Asterisk, but he did. The delivery man had it. Were they the same person? Or were there two people targeting me? Another ping. A building-wide alert. Asterisk, he's in the elevator. He's coming back to 14. Elera, hide. Nah. I didn't scream. I couldn't. My body moved on pure instinct. I ran into the bedroom, scrambled into the closet, suit to door, and buried myself under a pile of coats. The air was thick with the smell of cedar and stale perfume. It was suffocating. Then, I heard it. The sound of a key turning in the lock, a faint click as the door opened. Footsteps. Not the heavy boot steps of Mark. These were sneakers. Quiet, careful. They stopped in the living room. Silence. The kind of silence that makes your heart forget how to beat. He was listening. He knew I was in here. Elara. That voice. I knew that voice. Elara, what are you doing in the dark? The closet door swung open. Ben stood there, his face creased with worry. I collapsed into his arms, sobbing uncontrollably. Ben, he's here. The fake security guard asked my key. He went to 16. He came back. Ben held me, rubbing my back. She, it's okay. There's no one here. It's just me. No, you don't understand. The app, Sarah warned me. He has the what app, Elara? His voice was too calm, too placating. He took the phone from my trembling hand and glanced at the screen. You mean this one? Aperture link? I nodded through my tears. Look. The messages from Sarah, he sighed, a long, tired, patronizing sigh. Then he handed the phone back to me. Elara looked closely. I scrolled through the chat history. Every message. From resident 1607. From Sarah Reception. Then my eyes drifted up to the group info at the top of the chat. Only 2 members, Elara Vance and Ben Carter. My voice cracked. What? What did you do? You were falling apart after the move, he said softly, as if he were being reasonable. I just wanted to make sure you knew you needed me. I set up the app on your phone when I helped you move in a little simulation, so I could keep an eye on you. 1607, I whispered, horrified. The bookshelf. That was me. I posted it from my office. I knew you'd hear a noise and your mind would jump to the worst conclusion. And Sarah, also me. I was tracking your phone's GPS. When you panicked, I just pushed it a little further to help you realize you weren't safe on your own. A cold, triumphant smile spread across his face. He looked like a complete stranger. But the key, I stammered. The delivery man had my key. The photo. The smile vanished from his face. All the color drained from it. Elat, what? Delivery man? Sighed slowly. I don't know anything about a delivery or a key. From the dark hallway behind him, a third voice spoke. Low.com. And completely exhausted.
She's right.
She really shouldn't leave her key under the mat. Mark, a fake security guard, stood there. In his hand, my key twirled lazily between his gray-gloved fingers. Well, he said, stepping into the light of the bedroom, that does make things a lot easier. He glanced from Ben to me, a tired but determined look in his eyes. Apartment 1607 really is a mess, by the way. He did drop a bookshelf. That part was true.
Hey everyone, Rohan here, and buckle up, because tonight, I'm sharing something that still gives me chills just thinking about it. Forget your cozy blankets. You're going to want to pull them tighter. It all started on a sweltering Delhi night. You know the kind. Thick, suffocating heat. The fan just uselessly stirring heavy air. My dorm, Block B, always smelled of old sweat and instant noodles. But that night, there was a new scent and a new sound. Asterisk, thud, asterisk. A dry, heavy noise. It came from the wall right beside my head. The shared wall with room 411. My roommate, Vikram, was wide-eyed in the dark. Did you hear that, Rohan? He whispered. Oh, I heard it all right. Asterisk, thud, thud. Asterisk, it wasn't knocking. It sounded like something heavy, deliberate. And the creepy part? Room 411 was supposed to be empty all semester. That thudding went on for almost an hour, like a massive heartbeat. Then silence. A silence that felt even louder. The next day, Vikram was a wreck. And then he told me he heard something asterisk before asterisk the thudding, a scratching sound right outside our door, like nails on wood. And that's when a chill, colder than any Indian summer night, went down my spine. It came back that night. The thudding. Samir, my other roommate, cursed and buried his head. Vikram started crying softly under his blanket. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling crack, counting every beat. Then, asterisk thud, crack, asterisk a chunk of plaster fell, revealing a dark split in the wall. And from inside it, a smell drifted out. Not curry, not sweat, jasmine. Old, sickly sweet jasmine. The kind they use at funerals. Samir couldn't take it. He stormed out, heading for the warden. But when he left, the thudding stopped. And after 10 minutes, Vikram whispered, "He's been gone too long." I went to check. The hallway was empty. No Samir. When I turned back, Vikram wasn't on his bed. He was standing in the middle of the room, facing the cracked wall. Vikram? I called. He didn't move. Then asterisk, thud asterisk. It came from Vikram. He turned slowly. His eyes, oh God, rolled white. His mouth opened in a silent scream. Then he fell. No wounds. Just pure terror frozen on his face. His phone was on the floor, recording app open. I pressed play, just breathing, then a whisper, faint but close to the mic. Open the door. I screamed through the phone, and it shattered. Samir came back, pale. He didn't scream when he saw Vikram, just backed away, eyes wide. "We need to leave," he rasped. The police called it a heart attack, but we knew better. That night, in our new room, the chill came with us, the jasmine scent. And then, a soft asterisk scratch asterisk on our new door. Asterisk scratch, scratch, asterisk it had found us. "It knows we're here," I whispered. But Samir said, "No, not us, you." And before I could react, he lunged, tearing my grandmother's silver amulet, my taviyas, from my neck. "I'm sorry," he sobbed. "It wants something, an invitation. Vikram invited it. Now it's your turn." The scratching stopped. The door swung open. The hallway was no longer empty. It was black. The jasmine poured in, suffocating. Samir threw the taviyas into the darkness. Take it and leave." 2 white orbs, eyes like Vikram's, glowing faintly. Then the whisper again. Open the door. Samir backed toward the window. It's not a demon, Rohan, he said, voice shaking. It's the past. Don't you remember? First year, Diwali night. That new student Arjun, the skinny, shy boy we always teased. That night, Samir trembled. We locked him out on the balcony of 411. Just a joke. We were drunk. We forgot him. The memory hit me. Fireworks, laughter, and faint knocking from that balcony. Asterisk thud. Thud. Asterisk. They found him the next morning, Samir said. Dead from heat stroke. The school covered it up. No. The darkness crept in. Vikram heard him first, Samir said, climbing onto the window ledge. The scratching. He'd been scratching that balcony door all night, trying to get in. Just like now. You knew, I realized. You knew all along. I tried to forget, he shouted. But he wouldn't let me. He just wants someone to open the door. The darkness was right in front of me now. Its icy breath. The jasmine burned my lungs. Open the door, Rohan, it whispered in Arjun's voice. No. My voice cracked. Samir, help me. Samir looked down from the window. I'm sorry, Rohan, but I won't let him take me. One of us has to pay. He jumped. A short scream. Then silence. I was alone. The darkness closed in. The cold pierced my bones. Two white eyes hovered inches from mine. Asterisk thud. Asterisk, I knew that sound. It wasn't the wall. It wasn't scratching. It was Arjun's dried heart beating inside his chest. A dry, desperate rhythm. And now it's the only sound I can hear. The heat is gone. Only the cold remains. The jasmine fills everything. I open my mouth to scream, but the only sound that escapes is a whisper. Open the door.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Get ready to dim the lights, grab a blanket, and prepare yourselves. Because today we're diving into a chilling animated horror story straight from the heart of Tokyo. This isn't just any ghost story. It's a psychological ride that will leave you questioning everything you think you know about your neighbors. If you're a fan of Japanese horror, urban legends, and those truly creepy, suspenseful tales that slowly crawl under your skin, you're in for a treat. This one has it all. A haunting, a mysterious tapping sound, and a twist that you absolutely won't see coming. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's get spooky. Our story begins with a young woman named Akari, who had just moved into a new apartment building in a quiet, unassuming part of Tokyo. It was an older building, but the rent was surprisingly affordable for the area. Akari, an aspiring artist, was thrilled to have a fresh start. The building had a certain old-world charm, with creaky wooden floors and dimly lit hallways that whispered tales of past residents. She spent her first few days excitedly unpacking, arranging her art supplies, and trying to make the small space her own. Everything seemed perfect, a peaceful sanctuary in the bustling city. But peace, as Akari would soon learn, is a fragile thing. It started subtly, almost imperceptibly, a faint, rhythmic tapping sound. Tap, tap, tap. It seemed to come from the wall directly behind her bed, which, she quickly realized, was shared with the apartment next door. At first, she dismissed it. Old buildings make noises, right? Pipes settling, the wind playing tricks, maybe a neighbor doing some late-night DIY. She tried to ignore it, chalking it up to new apartment jitters. The tapping, however, didn't stop. It wasn't constant, but it would often start late at night, usually around 2 a.m., and continue for what felt like hours. It was slow, deliberate, and maddeningly persistent. Tap, tap, tap. It sounded like someone was gently knocking on the wall, almost like a secret code. Akari's initial dismissiveness slowly morphed into irritation, then curiosity, and finally, a creeping unease. One morning, sleep-deprived and frustrated, Akari decided to confront the source. She knocked on the neighbor's door. No answer. She tried again later that day. Still nothing. The door, a dark, heavy wood, remained stubbornly closed, giving away no secrets. She tried to catch her neighbor in the hallway, but it seemed like they kept entirely different schedules. The building itself felt strangely quiet, almost empty, despite its many units. As the days turned into a week, the tapping escalated. It grew louder, more insistent sometimes, accompanied by faint, almost inaudible whispers. Akari started to feel like she was being watched, even within the confines of her own apartment. She would jump at shadows, her heart pounding at every creak of the floorboards. Her artistic inspiration began to wane, replaced by a consuming anxiety. She'd lie awake, in bed, staring at the shared wall, her imagination running wild with possibilities. Was it a lonely old person trying to communicate? A child playing a mischievous game? Or something far more sinister? One particularly unnerving night, the tapping changed. It wasn't just rhythmic anymore. It seemed to form patterns, almost like a distorted message. Akari, trembling, found herself listening intently, trying to decipher the seemingly random knocks. Could it be Morse code? A desperate cry for help. She started seeing things out of the corner of her eye, fleeting shadows, distorted reflections in her window at night. Her dreams became vivid nightmares, filled with dark figures and suffocating silence. She felt herself spiraling, her mental state deteriorating with each persistent tap. She tried talking to the building manager, a gruff, elderly man who seemed more annoyed than concerned. He assured her that the building was quiet, that her neighbor was a very private person, and that perhaps Akari was just experiencing the usual adjustment period to city life. He even suggested she might be overworked and stressed. Akari left feeling dismissed, her fears brushed aside as mere figments of her imagination. This only made her feel more isolated and vulnerable. Desperate for answers, Akari decided to take matters into her own hands. She began researching the building's history online. Old newspaper clippings, archived forums, whispers of urban legends surrounding her very apartment complex. That's when she stumbled upon a disturbing article from decades ago. It detailed the disappearance of a young woman from her exact apartment unit, followed by a series of strange occurrences reported by subsequent tenants, unexplained noises, cold spots, the feeling of an unseen presence. And in almost every account, there was mention of a rhythmic tapping sound from the adjacent wall. A cold dread washed over Akari. This wasn't just in her head. This was real. The article also hinted at a connection to a nearby, now abandoned, mental hospital, where some of the building's original residents had reportedly worked. The details were vague, shrouded in rumor and local folklore. But the implication was clear. Something deeply unsettling had happened here, and it might be repeating itself. Armed with this terrifying knowledge, Akari felt a new sense of urgency. She knew she couldn't ignore the tapping anymore. One night, as the familiar rhythm began its chilling serenade, Akari, heart pounding in her chest, decided to tap back. She gently rapped on the wall, imitating the pattern she'd been hearing. To her horror, the tapping from the other side immediately stopped. A suffocating silence filled her apartment. Then, slowly, a new pattern emerged from the other side. Faster, more frantic, almost pleading. It sounded like a name. Her name. Akari was paralyzed with fear. How could it know her name? She hadn't told anyone in the building. A chilling thought born from the urban legends she'd read, gripped her. What if her neighbor wasn't a person at all, but something else entirely, a spirit, trapped and trying to communicate, or worse, trying to get in? She remembered the whisper-thin stories of spirits imitating human voices, of them growing stronger when acknowledged. Driven by a mix of terror and a strange, morbid curiosity, Akari peered through her peephole, something she hadn't dared to do before, fearing what she might see. The hallway was dark, empty. But then, she noticed something. Tucked beneath her neighbor's door, almost completely hidden by the old, worn mat, was a small, folded piece of paper. With shaking hands, she slipped it out. It was a note crudely written in what looked like faded ink. "Help me," it read. "He won't let me leave." The heat sent shivers down her spine. Akari backed away from the door, her mind racing. This wasn't a ghost. It was something far more tangible, far more terrifying. This was a human being in distress, possibly held captive by the creepy neighbor she had never seen. The tapping, the whispers, the plea for help, it all made a horrifying kind of sense. This wasn't supernatural horror, but a very real, very present danger. She decided she couldn't stay in the apartment any longer. Grabbing her essentials, Akari made her way downstairs, heart pounding, every shadow seeming to hold a hidden threat. She called the police from a safe distance, explaining everything she had found. The tapping, the note, the feeling of dread. They were initially skeptical, but her detailed account, coupled with the building's strange history, convinced them to investigate. When the police finally breached the door of the apartment next door, what they found sent a shockwave through the quiet building. The apartment was completely empty, save for a single, dusty old tape recorder sitting on the floor. It was playing a loop of rhythmic tapping sounds, strategically placed against the shared wall. And in the corner, amidst a scattering of old newspapers and strange diagrams, they found a small, meticulously crafted contraption designed to slide notes under doors, along with a hidden camera discreetly pointed at Akari's apartment. Akari watched, horrified, as the police revealed the truth. There was no captive neighbor, no ghost, no sinister entity. The creepy neighbor was a fabrication, an elaborate setup. The notes, the tapping, the whispers, it was all a meticulously planned hoax, a twisted psychological experiment. The previous tenant, a reclusive man with a history of peculiar behavior and a fascination with urban legends and psychological manipulation, had set it all up before he moved out weeks ago, creating a fake alert designed to slowly drive the next resident to the brink of sanity. He had been monitoring Akari's reactions, feeding her fears, pushing her further and further into paranoia. He was long gone, but his chilling game had successfully played out. Akari, though relieved there wasn't a ghost or a captive, was left with a profound sense of violation and unease. The experience left her shaken, but also strangely resilient. It wasn't the supernatural terror she'd imagined, but the human capacity for cruelty and psychological manipulation that proved truly terrifying. She realized that sometimes the scariest monsters aren't spirits from another realm, but the ones hiding in plain sight, or in this case completely unseen, simply waiting for an opportunity to play with your mind. And that, my friends, is where our tale ends. A chilling reminder that fear often comes from within, amplified by the unknown, and sometimes the most unsettling horrors are the ones crafted by human hands. What do you think you would have done in Akari's situation? Let me know in the comments below. Did this story give you the creeps? If you enjoyed this animated horror story and want more tailies that twist your mind, make sure to hit that like button. subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next spine-tingling upload. Thanks for watching, and stay spooky.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're diving deep into a story that'll have you checking your peepholes and rethinking your neighbors. This isn't just a tale. It's a chilling descent into a monsoon night where secrets fester and trust is a dangerous game. Get ready, because what happened in apartment 603 and the whole Mumbai Star building is something you won't easily forget. Let's unravel Priya's nightmare. The rain hammered against the window of apartment 603, not just falling, but attacking. It was 3 a.m, and the air was a thick, suffocating blanket. Damp concrete, a whiff of old curry, and something else, something sweet and sickly, like rose water, but it shouldn't have been there. My name is Priya, and I knew, with a certainty that iced my veins, that something terrible was coming. Then, a yelp, not just a bark, but a high-pitched, panicked scream of pure terror, cutting through the deluge. It was Ria's dog from 601. That lazy, spoiled thing barely ever made a peep. My spine went cold. The building's WhatsApp group, Mumbai Star, exploded. Mrs. D'Souza in 204 was first. "Please, what dog is that?" Then Mr. Sharma from 302, the perpetually grumpy one, chimed in. "Someone shut that dog up in 601, people are trying to sleep." Angry emojis, some likes for Mr. Sharma. But I just stared at my phone, hands clammy. I knew why Ria couldn't quiet her dog. I knew better than anyone that Ria was lying on her marble bathroom floor. Pale, still, eyes wide open, staring at a decorative light that was still burning. I knew because I had been there, just 2 hours earlier. The rain had only just begun to drizzle back then. I stood at Ria's door, 601, holding damp printouts, bank statements, screenshots, proof. Proof of my husband Rohan's betrayal. Proof of the money he'd been funneling to her. I was there to confront her, to beg. When she opened the door, she wasn't surprised. She smiled. An emerald silk robe, a wine glass. Her apartment smelled of expensive perfume and new furniture. "Oh, Priya," she'd purred, her voice lazy. "You finally came. Come in." I remember begging her. "Ria, please. He doesn't know what he's doing. You have to stop." She laughed. A light, airy sound, but sharp as broken glass. "Stop? Sweetie, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's sick of a boring life. He's sick of you." She took a slow sip of wine, looking at me over the rim. And frankly, so am I. My voice trembled as I held out the papers. "This isn't just about us. This is company money. Rohan is..." "Oh, I know." She cut me off, her amusement vanishing, replaced by a cold, calculating gaze. "He's embezzling, quite a lot, and I have all the proof right here." She tapped a laptop on the bar. "He thought he was smart, but he's stupid. And so are you, if you think you're just here to talk about an affair." She stood up, her silk robe rustling. "You see, Priya, I'm not just his mistress. I'm his new business partner. And tomorrow, I'm telling his other partners about his little fraud scheme. Unless," she smiled, a predatory glint in her eyes, "he agrees to give me 70%. My blood ran cold. "You're blackmailing him." "I'm blackmailing both of you," she corrected. "And you're not the only one. That engineer Karen in 401, his shady contract with the developer, I have all of it. I'm going to ruin all of you." She picked up her phone. "I think I'll call Rohan first, or maybe Karen. See who bids higher." That's when I panicked. I didn't lunge to hurt her. I lunged for the phone. It was a desperate, unthinking act. We struggled. It was clumsy, pathetic. She was stronger than I thought. She pushed me. I stumbled, and as I tried to regain my balance, I shoved her back, just a shove. But she lost her footing in her high heels, falling backward. I heard a sickening crack, a dry sound, followed by shattering glass. Her head had hit the edge of the glass coffee table. She didn't get up. She just lay there. The room was so quiet, I could hear the rain getting heavier outside. Then, another sound, a choking, gurgling breath. I crawled to her, her eyes focused on me. Blood began to seep from her hair. And then, she smiled. A slow, bloody smile. "You," she choked out. "You are dead." She was still reaching for the phone. I didn't think. I just saw the emerald silk pillow on the sofa. I grabbed it. I just wanted her to be quiet. I just wanted the threats to stop. I pressed the pillow over her face, using my entire weight. There was a weak struggle, then nothing. When I could breathe again, when my heart stopped pounding, the silence was absolute. I looked down at my hands, and then I smelled it. The metallic smell of blood. Panic rose in my throat. I ran into her bathroom, desperate for something. Bleach, floor cleaner, anything. I found a bottle of bleach under the sink. I poured it on the floor. I started scrubbing, but the bleach smell was too strong. It was choking me. I needed to cover it. I fumbled in my purse, found the small bottle of rose water I always carry for prayers. A pure thing to cover a filthy one. I poured it everywhere. On the floor. On her. On the pillow. A frantic, stupid attempt. I thought it would hide everything. I thought the storm would wash it all away. I ran. I locked the door behind me. Now, back in my apartment 603, my phone buzzed. A new message. From Ria. "Don't worry, I handled it." My heart stopped. Impossible. Then a photo uploaded. Blurry, taken in a hurry. The dog on its side. Motionless. A dark pool beneath it. The chat went silent. A heavy, terrifying silence. Worse than the barking. Soon after, Mr. Gupta in 501 posted a video. A trail of dark liquid, almost black in the low light, was dripping through a crack in his bathroom ceiling. "It smells," he typed, his voice panicked. "It smells like flowers and chemicals." My chest seized. Bleach and rose water. I remembered. The faucet. When I was trying to wash my hands in Ria's bathroom, I had fumbled with the gold-plated tap. I had left it running. I had spilled the bleach and the rose water on the bathroom floor, and I had left the tap running, overflowing the tub. Vikram from 502 declared he was going up. "He's the biggest guy in the building. A good man. I'll go check." Karen, in 401, the logical engineer, urged calm. "Call security," he wrote. "Don't go up yourself." "Security is too slow," Vikram typed back. "I'm in the elevator." My heart hammered. "No, Vikram, don't." Then Vikram's message. "It's all good. It was a misunderstanding. The dog got sick. Ria took it to the vet. The leak was a burst pipe. Everyone go to sleep." Relief hit me so hard my knees buckled. I almost cried. She was alive. Maybe she was just hurt. Maybe I hadn't, but it didn't last. My phone vibrated again. This time a private group. Just me, Karan, 401, and Mr. Sharma, 302. It was Karan. "Did you see Vikram's message?" "Yes," I typed back, hands still shaking. "Thank God." "No," Karan replied. "Priya, look closely. He always uses punctuation. Always. That message didn't have a single period." I scrolled back. He was right. A rushed, blunt sentence. Others started noticing things that didn't add up. How could she get a dog to the vet at 3 a.m. in a typhoon? The smell in the hallway was stronger now, rose water and something metallic under it, seeping under my door. I pressed my ear to the door. Nothing but the rain. Then, suddenly, the peephole went dark. Not just a shadow passing. It went black. As if someone was standing right outside, pressing their eye to it from the other side. I let out a choked scream, stumbling back, tripping. My phone vibrated. Private message from Vikram. Open the door. It's me. Priya, open the door. I got away. He's in there. At the same time, Karan messaged the private group. Don't open. I'm watching from my window. Someone is at your door. It's Vikram. A knock. Not loud. Polite. Tap, tap, tap. A voice whispered through the wood. Priya, open the door. It's me. Vikram. Go away, I hissed. Please, Priya. The voice whispered, still polite. He's in there. He's watching me. Open the door. Karan messaged. He's lying. I can see him. He's just standing there. He isn't moving. He's texting from Vikram's phone. I backed away, pressing myself against the cold wall. The hallway fell silent. The knocking stopped. I held my breath, staring at the door. Someone in the chat said the police were on their way. Mr. Sharma had called them. I told myself to lock the door, to breathe, to be invisible. Then Karan messaged again, just to me. This time his tone had changed. It wasn't panicked. It was cold. You did well, Priya. Keep calm. I frowned. What? Who is out there? Doesn't matter. It's handled. He's gone from your door. A pause. You don't remember, do you? The meeting in the car park? The shock is messing with your head. Fragmented memories returned. Karan in the dark car park last week. She's a cancer, Priya. She's blackmailing me over the construction contract. She's going to ruin us both. We agreed. Karan's message continued. You were the only one who could get inside. You would confront her. I would handle the rest. I would handle the digital cleanup. I would handle the distraction. I stared at the phone, the picture of the dog, the message from Ria's phone. Vikram. You, I whispered. It was you. You were in 601. I had to go in right after you left, he messaged. The dog was a mess. It wouldn't stop barking. Vikram was an unfortunate accident. He shouldn't have tried to be a hero. But it's clean now. I looked down at my hands. They smelled of rosewater and bleach. My head was spinning. I wasn't alone. I was part of a plan I didn't even fully understand. The rain outside sounded like a curtain closing. The police are coming, Karan messaged. Mr. Sharma called them. He's a loose end. I'll take care of the scene here. I'll make it look like Vikram and Ria killed each other. A burglary gone wrong. Tragic. All you have to do is play the terrified neighbor. Can you do that, Priya? Just stay calm. We're almost safe. I had an impossible choice. Tell the truth to the strangers in uniform who were coming, or trust the voice on my phone who promised to fix it for me. I walked to the kitchen. I opened a drawer. My fingers closed around something ordinary. The knife I used to chop vegetables. It felt heavy and real in my palm, cold, certain. For a second, I imagined every possible ending. I saw myself using it. I saw myself resisting it. Then I let it go. The metallic sound against the wood was soft. I pressed my ear to the door again. My heart was a hammer. The hallway remained empty. But I stepped out into the hallway anyway, because waiting felt like a trap. Waiting was death. Apartment 603 was my tomb. As I stepped out, I heard the ding of the elevator from afar, in the lobby. The police were arriving below. I turned and walked toward the stairwell, the smell of rosewater following me like a memory I could not scrub away. Please, I whispered to the empty stairwell. Let this end. Step by step, I went down.